In the description box below this video is a link where you can download my Excel spreadsheet, which contains my cheat sheet for week 6 of the NFL, including Sunday, October 12th, and Monday, October 13th, 2025. It covers all 15 games and all 32 NFL teams. This Excel spreadsheet is unique. It contains independent point spread calculations based on ESPN and TeamRankings power ratings with comparisons to the actual Vegas point spread. It also has in one location a massive resource of scattered data collected in one location on including against the spread information, overs and unders, and first half statistics. With it, you can gain the advantage against Vegas with data analytics. So go to the description box below the video, click the link, and it will take you to my Google Drive. There you can download the Excel spreadsheet. Go to File, Download, Microsoft Excel. You can also download an Open Office version, Open Document version. The best version would be Microsoft Excel downloaded to your desktop, and then you can take advantage of the full features, and also you can make changes and make notes on the spreadsheet. So let's take a look at the spreadsheet. It's a massive spreadsheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go column by column. So what I have here is I have all 32 teams are in this spreadsheet, including the 2 teams that have the bye. Houston Texans and Minnesota Vikings have the bye. Now I'm going to zoom in and let's go column by column. All right, so the first column has the games numbered. The games are numbered from 1 to 15, and then the 2 teams with the bye are at the bottom. For each game, the road team is on top and the home team's at the bottom. For example, the first game that's analyzed on the spreadsheet is Denver Broncos playing at the New York Jets. So New York Jets are the home team. This is for week 6. This is for week 6 of the NFL from October 8th through October 13th, 2025. The numbering system in the first column is based on VegasInsider.com's NFL scoreboard. So VegasInsider.com NFL scoreboard has the games, and I numbered the games based on the sequence that they show up on the website. And I'll provide the links to all these websites in the description box below. So as you can see here, the first game on the page is Broncos and the Jets, and they are the first game here. That way you can side by side look at the web page and you can look at the spreadsheet. Also, the actual Vegas point spreads are numbers from this VegasInsider.com webpage. So under now, they have the point spread of minus 7.5 Broncos. And then that's the Vegas point spread. So the third column here, it says Vegas, and this is the actual Vegas point spread from VegasInsider.com. So game 1, New York Jets are at home. They're an underdog, plus 7.5. Denver Broncos are on the road. They're the favorite, minus 7.5. Now, if you look at these pink columns, they indicate where the point spreads are. So whenever you see a pink column, just to the right of it will be a point spread. So this is the actual Vegas point spread. The next one is point spreads that are calculated from ESPN's power rating. Let me show you what these power ratings are from. So on ESPN, on their website, they have an NFL Football Power Index. And this number is designed to calculate point spreads. So, for example, Kansas City Chiefs has the highest FPI, Football Power Index, of 6.1. Let's say they played the Los Angeles Rams, who have an FPI of 3. So 6.1 minus 3. Kansas City Chiefs are rated 3 points higher. On a neutral field, Kansas City Chiefs would be a favorite, minus 3 points. Home field advantage is I use the number 2. So a lot of the new numbers now for home field advantage in NFL statistically is around 2, like 1.5 to 3. So I'm using 2, and this is from TeamRankings site. So the way you would do that is, let's say the Kansas City Chiefs are playing at home. Their football power index is 6.1. You add 2, so that's 8.1, minus 3 from the Rams. So that means the Kansas City Chiefs would then be favored by 5 points, minus 5. Now I go into details on how to calculate point spreads in a video that I published on my channel, YouTube channel, how to calculate point spreads from power ratings. Now the example here I use are point spread calculations for college football, but it is the exact same method to calculate point spreads for the NFL. So based on that, I calculated point spread from ESPN, and these are the point spreads. And they are not the same as the Vegas point spreads. So in the next column here, with the triangle at the top, and this is the difference between the ESPN point spread and the Vegas point spread. And I highlight it where the difference is 2 or higher. And green is good. That means that that team has an advantage based on the ESPN point spread number. Now the NFL, because it's a professional league, has more parity than in college. In college, you'll see larger point spreads and you'll see larger variations. In the NFL, they're all pros, and as we saw on Thursday night, the New York Giants beat the Philadelphia Eagles, who won the Super Bowl last year. Any given Sunday, any given Thursday, a team can beat the other team. There's parity. What parity means is statistically the teams are closer together, but you are always looking for outliers. So based on this here, the Baltimore Ravens, their point spread is predicted to be 2.8, which gives them a 4-point advantage compared to Vegas. So that what that means is, so like for example here, let's look at the Rams. The Rams are going to be playing the Ravens, Baltimore Ravens, but their quarterback Lamar Jackson's injured. So Vegas has the Baltimore Ravens as a home underdog +7. ESPN says that what that means is if Vegas's statistical prediction is that the Baltimore Ravens will win by 7 points statistically. Now ESPN's Football Power Index says that they will win by 2.8. Basically, they're the underdogs. So Vegas says that Baltimore will lose by 7 and the Rams will win by 7. But ESPN saying is that the Baltimore Ravens will only lose by 2.8, a field goal, whereas the Rams will win only by a field goal. So they're going to say it's a close game. So if you see here, the point spreads are both minus for the Rams. So the favorite team, the stronger team, always has a minus point spread. So the Rams are favored by a touchdown by Vegas, but ESPN says they're only favored by 3. It's going to be a closer game. So that indicates that the Vegas point spread may be off by 4.2 points, favoring the Baltimore Ravens. At which point, based on this number alone, that makes the Baltimore Ravens is a value pick. Of course, you have to check injuries, etc., human factors, but we're just looking at the statistical advantages. It's just one part of the overall equations, injuries, etc. So the Baltimore Ravens is 4.2, Jacksonville Jaguars 2, Washington Commanders 2.5. The Eagles here it says 2.4. Didn't work out in reality. just looking for some advantages. And then in this grouping here, the final column is the actual football power index that I used in the calculations. Now moving over to the right is the next grouping is team rankings, power ratings, and point spread calculations. And that is from Team Rankings. TeamRankings.com. Started 25 years ago by some Stanford graduates 25 years ago, and they also have their predictive ratings, power ratings, and they basically explain here they're predictive, and you can use them to calculate point spreads. So right for here, they have Detroit rated number 1 with 8 points. So let's say they play Kansas City, 5 points. Detroit is 3 points better than Kansas City on a neutral field. Detroit would be favored -3. The favorite -3. Now, if Detroit played at home, you add 2 points to the home team, so then Detroit would be -5. So going to the spreadsheet here, similar idea. These are the point spreads. Right next to the pink column, these are the point spreads calculated using Team Rankings, and you're actually seeing some more variations. So they also have the Baltimore Ravens being a value pick, 7.4, Jacksonville Jaguars, Carolina Panthers. So remember, green is good in this situation, and so these are unique calculations that are not available anywhere else. And the key thing is you got the Vegas point spread, you have the ESPN FPI football power index point spread, the difference, the team rankings point spread, and then the difference. So the rest of the spreadsheet contains very useful information, all located on the spreadsheet. It's a many columns. So let me give you an overview though. So the next grouping is very useful information in that it has the against the spread information. And this is from Team Rankings. What that means is, did the team cover the point spread? So in this column here, ATS means win, lose, or push. So Denver has covered the point spread twice. They did not cover the point spread 2 times, and there was a push 1 time. And then this is the percentage of time the teams have covered the point spread. And ATS is the number of points that the team have covered the point spread on average. So Denver's covered the point spread 50% of the time, and on average they've covered the point spread by 4.6 points. And on this column, I have the opposing team. This is helpful when you sort. Now, let me show you a very useful thing here. In the top row, you have the top row, and then in the lower right-hand corner are little triangles. And if you do this, you can then sort. So let's say you want to sort the teams alphabetically. You can sort the teams alphabetically. You can also sort by like here, we're seeing this way you can sort whatever column you can sort by clicking the little triangle. Now, if you want to reset the spreadsheet, just go back to the first column, sort A to Z, and it'll reset the column based on games. So you can go, every single column is sortable, but then to reset the spreadsheet, just go back to the first column. Or you could save multiple copies of the spreadsheet and just you can play around with them once you downloaded them. So next what I have is ESPN, more statistics from ESPN. Football Power Index, the rank. Also, the Football Power Index is divided into offense, defense, and special teams. So they provide a breakdown. So if you see here, ESPN, they also break it down by offense, defense, and special teams. So I put that all in here. Strength of schedule. Efficiencies, overall efficiencies. The rank, offense, defense, special teams. I also included the defense and special teams data from ESPN because I think it's useful information. It has useful information. So this is actually fantasy points per game for the defense. So this group here is all defense information. So interceptions, sacks, and defensive touchdowns. So scrolling to the right, I have here, this is the point differential per game, points scored per game, minus points allowed per game. So, for example, the Denver Broncos score net 6.6 points per game. That's the margin. So then I have offensive information here, total yards per game, passing yards per game, rushing yards per game, and then points per game. Defense, I have total yards per game, passing, rushing, and points allowed per game. So these are defense stats. Also, I have turnover information. So turnovers, the differential is a plus minus. And what this does is it looks at takeaways and subtracts giveaways, and that gives you the differential. So plus is good. So for example here, Pittsburgh is +7. So the takeaways include interceptions and fumbles, and then totals. So total takeaways and total giveaways gives you this differential. It's interesting to see because some teams are really good at like Chicago has a plus differential on turnovers. New York Jets are -8. So now moving on to the team ranking statistics. Again, this is from TeamRankings.com. This is their power ratings. I also put the point differential here again. This is points per game, scored minus allowed. I also have the win, loss, and tie record because we've already had a tie. Win percentage, margin of victory. And then this is the against the spread information, win, loss, and push. Percentage of times that they've covered. ATS plus minus is the number of points that the team have covered the point spread on average. I also include over and under information. Over, under, and push. So what this means is how often have the teams gone over, how often have the teams gone under, and how often has there been a push. So for example here, Denver, they've gone over 1 time, under 4 times, and there's been a push 0 times. So what here it says Denver's gone over basically 0% of the time, under 0.8% of the time. Oh, sorry, these should be, I'll correct this in the spreadsheet. These are percentages. Then you have the total plus minus. So this is the, going back to here. So Denver's gone over 20% of the time. Jets have gone over 80% of the time. And the plus minus is the average that the teams have gone over and under per game. So positive is under, minus is under. So Jets have gone over 80% of the time, so they're plus 9.9. And Denver's gone under 80% of the time, so they're minus 3.8. Then here is the average total per game. And the average total per game is merely points per game scored plus points allowed. So the points scored by a team plus the points allowed by the team. So that's basically the total scored, or the total score, the total scores of both teams together. That gives you the total. And I also include first half statistics. Why is this? Because some teams have first half tendencies. Some teams, for example, will be explosive in the first half. They like to get ahead, and then they just kind of maintain the lead. And then some teams they don't. They just kind of like chug along and play all 4 quarters. So sometimes you can get an advantage by betting first halves. So let's say you have a team that's really, really good against a team that's very, very weak. You may want to bet the first half. So you're expecting the much stronger team to get out in the lead, maybe 14-0 in the first half, and then they'll just maintain the lead. Those are scenarios that happen. So it's good to have first half information. So offense, defense, and these are points per half, and then offense minus defense. So that's the spreadsheet. So again, go to the link. I'm going to make some minor corrections, so the spreadsheet will have the minor corrections, and then the also I have also on the channel, similar to this NFL cheat sheet. This week I also posted a cheat sheet for college football. So look on the channel for the cheat sheet for college football also. And then next week I plan on posting some more videos on NFL and college football. So check back to the channel for future college football and NFL videos.